Welcome back, travellers, to the Lucky Die. Previously, Laffian shares a memory, Rhal meets other Dragonborn, Squash worries about snow, and Zaltanna confirms their mission. Rhal checks on the freshly arrived hunting party, only to find that they are in fact a Dragonborn couple, sick with dragon's maw. Rhal offers them a sanctuary away from the snow in Falsum, whilst Laffian seeks a vision about the past, and learns of a seal-like race that long ago abandoned the school. Will their hosts leave with them? How much has the world changed in 5,000 years? And what drove the inhabitants of Culford and Bayad to leave the town to the snow? I guess you're about to find out. Welcome back to the Lucky Die.
You're at a table. You have been pointing out various places that are difficult to pass. You have been warned and drawn a picture of some of the more interesting things you might come across. You have 16 rations each. What do you want to do? Are you ready to leave the relative safety of the school, finally? Or do you need to continue whatever it is that you're doing here?
I think we're ready to leave.
Yeah, I do just want to do a little quick. Rhal is going to hand, and we don't even have to go over it, but Rhal just wants to make sure that they have a note. He mentioned making one, but like I definitely want to make sure
that's
that
right, yeah.
he does hand them a little note that says, hey, these two are a part of this too. They're going to Fossum. You guys don't be dicks.
They take that. Yeah.
Don't be mean.
Don't be mean. Lesson for life. Okay. Anyone want to do anything else before you set yourself upon this path? A few hours have gone since sunup. You're not starting out as quite as early as you'd wanted to, but surprise, Dragonborn. I was going to let it go, man. I was going to let it go. Okay.
I think we go.
With all of your belongings wrapped up in the warmest of all the things that you have, with a few days' wood for the road, not that there is one, you start to venture your way north. The first day is tough. The snow in places is very uneven, so you'll walk across what was barely up to your ankles and the next minute be above the height of Squash's head. It's difficult, it's slow going. You can't go anywhere near as fast as you want, and the cold hurts. And the further north that you travel, the more that you realise the storm is beginning to pick up. You see it off in the distance. You can feel the winds beginning to whip at your face. Where would you like to settle for the evening? What kind of area are you looking for?
Squash? You're
Squash is the survivalist. Aether's not.
Are you survivalist in this weather?
That's also a second thing. I don't think Squash has spent a lot of time in the cold. He's very lucky right now. He has the blessing of winter, which means he's resistant to cold.
You should definitely make a check, though, because your number is going to be higher on the paper.
Wait a minute. Hang on a minute. I'm going to step aside here. Aether.
Yes.
You come from Iceland.
Yes.
How do you not know how to survive in the cold?
Oh, because in Iceland we have these things called houses. And we don't...
I mean, a cave is like a house.
No, like...
Effing cold.
I've played around with, like, when I was in the Scouts, I played around with igloos, and I know how warm they can get, but I don't think Squash has any idea how a fucking igloo works.
Okay, that's fair. I'll take that. I just needed to address it because someone would have brought it up.
Yeah. Also, on top of that, like temporary housing in snow isn't really a thing. That takes hours to make. But I guess Squash would probably just try to figure out like where the wind is blowing from the hardest and try to find some kind of a cliff or an edge that they can brace themselves up against. And having worked around in the snow, that he knows that they can like dig out a little thing in the snow. Maybe use some kind of a tarp or blankets that they have to create a little covering.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
like
smart.
what we did on the mountain.
Yes. Okay, in that case, I would like you to roll a survival check, please. This is the only survival check we're going to make that is not going to be at disadvantage moving forward.
Oh boy.
The environment is going to be working hard against you all.
Well, I rolled a 19 on the dice, which means I rolled a 32.
Are you still proficient in that?
I'm still got expertise in that.
Yeah, I think we agreed that you could keep that. Fuck.
I can take that away if you want. It's no problem.
No, it's fine. Fine, I'll deal with it. As you make your way north, you see the sun is beginning to set. It's setting a lot quicker here than what you are used to. You become aware that days might be a little shorter up here. It could actually just be winter moving in. You aren't 100% sure. However, noticing where the wind is coming from, you begin to direct the team a little bit more towards where there is a kind of a hill. It's not the biggest, but it will provide some sort of protection. The hill is just a mound of snow at the moment. You can see the odd bits of like volcanic rock breaking through the snow in places, so you know that there is something more to it here. You can dig away at the snow, you can make yourself a little hovel, but it's going to be nothing more than that. And should the wind change direction, you might be in trouble. But for now, the four of you have a place that you can rest. So, what does this rest look like? Are you going to be setting a fire? Are you going to be cooking things? Are you just going to cuddle up as a four and hope you don't freeze to death?
Is there a storm right now?
The wind is picking up. On your 32, I'm going to say that you know the storm is going to be here in full force just before sunup tomorrow. Just because you've got a 32, you would know what storms are. Like, you know how quickly they can move.
Yeah.
Is it ice above us, or is this like a rocky outcropping?
It's a kind of mixture of rock and ice. It's mostly snow, this kind of hill. Like, there's a lot of emptiness around you, a few sparse trees. They are nowhere near enough to give you any sort of shelter. This is the best that you would find for this evening, at least.
The words of Braxton echo in Laffian's mind, and he says, I don't think we'll be able to do a fire, not without probably burying ourselves in snow or ice.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to suck it up tonight. But the coming nights, we're gonna need a fire. If it gets this cold or stays this cold, we're not gonna survive without it.
We can all huddle for warmth, or cuddle for warmth, or whatever it's called.
You've only heard talk about it, never done it before. Hey. No, sorry, the fact that you didn't know
before.
the phrasing like huddle for warmth or cuddle, I don't know. I only heard of it in books. Sorry.
I've only read about it in a book.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna need to stay close.
Okay. Are you setting watches?
Probably.
Yeah, Gyatso had the trees attack us. It would be foolish to assume that the rest won't.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Snow monsters.
I think Squash is going to take first watch, just to make sure if anything has been trailing us that he can catch that. And after that, he does not care who takes the next watch.
Okay.
I'll take second.
I'll take the last watch. I only need 4 hours of meditation.
And that leaves Rhal with third watch then. Okay. The sun has properly kind of set by the time the four of you settle down, cuddled up very close, eating what rations you can, staying as close as you can for warmth. Squash, you keep your eyes open, peeled. Could you please make a perception check for me? You can see in the dark now, right?
Yeah, but as all dark vision
Up
is, it's
to-
only 30 feet.
Yeah.
Yours is shorter than
Oh.
normal dark vision.
Then
60.
maybe I have 60? I don't know.
No.
Oh, okay.
Nah. Not
Nah.
a chance.
You just got shafted on it.
My perception is 14 on the dice, so 27.
Of course it is. This is why wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
On a 27, you see as far. It's unusual for you to see in like this kind of darkness, and you're kind of getting used to this. You also begin to rely on some of your other senses, listening, kind of feeling things that move, and you can detect that there are things kind of moving out beyond your vision. You hear one of them begin to pound very quickly in your direction. Then they kind of skid to a halt and turn away again and head off in another direction. There is a lot of noises around you, a lot of movement, a lot of heavy, large creatures. And you think off in the distance, just that one moment, just at the edge of your vision, you think you see a flash of eyes. But that's all you see for your watch. Zaltanna.
Okay.
Real dark. I would like you to make a perception check, please.
You got it, Chief.
Oh boy.
Wow, that's a 3.
You hear absolutely nothing. Just the howling of the wind as it begins to pick up. It is, what day are we on with us? Day 89. Oh, blimey.
Oh no.
What? I don't know what you're worried about. The sun. All you hear is the moaning of the wind. There's very little light from the moon that is almost full. But you hear and see nothing. You're lucky. Okay. Who's next? Rhal. Perception, please.
6. Is that good?
You guys are going to get us killed.
Guys.
Oh, hold on. Tio.
What about Tio?
Tio's looking too.
Sure. Why wouldn't you?
Tio time, Tio time.
Tio time! That's how you spend the entirety of your 2 hours. You're just in Tio.
Well, Rhal did
Tio
make a
time.
check of his own, but we could say that he's also checking Tio every now and then. And Tio
Tio
has,
is MVP. We all know this.
Does Tio have advantage on these? That's why he does
I
good.
don't think so.
Yes, he does. He has keen
Whatever his
senses.
character sheet says. All right, then he has advantage.
He's so good. 16.
No, I'll let my results stand.
Okay.
As you transfer your senses into Tio, it feels really cold. Like he just nips his head out. You see that the wind is picking up immensely. There are actually like small bits of vegetation that's now being picked up by the wind, which is going extremely fast now. It's very heavy. You can see and feel all the clothing of the 4 of you huddled together just beginning to like rattle around. It's kind of like smacking at each other. It's very difficult for everyone to stay asleep. Tio looks around, and in the distance they see 2 flashing red eyes that seem to be intently watching your group. They move away, and then they come back again a few minutes later. Except there are 2 sets of red eyes now. And they go away. And they come back, and there are 4. They go away, come back. There are 8. But they don't seem to be coming any closer than about 35, 40 feet.
Oh no.
And that is your watch, unless you want to wake anyone.
I'm gonna tell Balance that there was 1 set of eyes, and then there was 2 set of eyes, and then there was 4 set of eyes, and now there's some eyes. A lot of them. And now it's your watch. Good night.
Tiger, it go sleep.
Okay. Well, Rhal, hold on.
What?
Hold on. Rhal, no, hold on. Just keep a watch of my body for a second, if that's the case.
Why? What are you doing?
Scouting.
Okay.
Thank you. All right.
Okay.
So, Lafian's going to have his wandering eye pop out.
Mhm.
So Rhal again sees the third eye open up on his forehead
you
as he
see
meditates.
him make a gross
and the
face.
eye just pops out of the socket and flies off. He doesn't know. You guys still have not told him this is what happens.
I know. This is the context
We
that
need
I'm
to play
giving
this game
you.
until the very
see
end.
me make a gross face.
It's definitely gonna be Kaithia that tells you.
Dia, I hate to tell you, but that's really disgusting. What?
I mean,
What am
I don't
doing?
mind it, but you totally have a third eye.
Sweet.
Anyway, your eye floats out beyond you. Can you click it so
So-
I can see all the information about the eye, so I can give you like an accurate representation of what it is you see, or feel, or smell?
Sure.
I don't know how your eye works.
I always feel like somebody's watching me.
Yo, me too.
You send the small eye out. You extend your senses, and everything about you is inside this small psychic sensor. You go out to where Rhal indicated the eyes were watching you, multiplying. And as you get closer and closer to
I'm
it,
one of you.
they can't see it. As you get closer and closer to these red flashing eyes, you see what looks like a very big bear. You note that the eyes, they're not flashing red, they are filled with fire. You can see the claws that occasionally, as they tap them, they're buried mostly in the snow, but when they break that surface, they too are covered in fire. They are big, very big. And there seems to be, let's say, a herd of them.
Herd.
Oh.
As in
A lot of them, yeah.
a good
yeah,
amount of
yeah.
them. If I move the eye up, can I get a rough idea of how many I'm seeing here?
About 12.
There was
Okay.
one pair, and then there was two pair. And then there was 4 pair. And now there's 12 pairs. Oh my god. Holy shit.
A clever reveal. It's just a beholder pretending to have a bunch of different pairs and just closing and opening. And there's like a moment of, oh, it's just a beholder. Oh shit, it's a beholder.
Maybe we can free this one.
I think at this point we can probably handle a beholder.
I was listening
better
back
than
to
that.
V's old beholder. Jesus Christ, that voice is
Oh, no.
amazing.
No, it's not. I hate it. It's the same voice that I give the one of the clerics
Yeah.
in
Kino.
Kino that kicks you out of the temple.
Yeah. It's your not really Kermit voice.
That's the one. It's my fake Kermit voice. I hate it.
Okay,
What would you like to do now that you're aware there are a herd of bears with fire in their
Demon
eyes
fire
and fire
bears.
on their claws? What would you like to do?
Lafian's gonna dismiss the eye.
You snap back straight into your body and you see Rhal giving you a bit of a "Ugh" looking face. And Tio just like stares at you smiling. Little tongue out.
Okay, Rhal. We need to get everybody up. I know everyone hasn't finished their rest. We need to go.
Are there more eyes now?
12.
12 eyes? That's 6 things. What are they?
No, 12 sets.
What?
Why don't we wake the others and I'll tell you as we get moving.
Roll like slowly. Shakes everyone awake. There's 6 things out there. We're
No, there's 12 things. Zaltanna, Squash. Hey. Wake up.
Is it... we leaving already?
It's a bit sooner.
Oh no, what's wrong? So
So there are approximately 12 fiery demon bears.
What? I'm gonna make it safe. It's an 11.
You're fine.
It's barely.
Boo.
And they're watching us. I think it might be a good idea if we leave. I don't know if they're actually demons or not, but I'm gonna take a guess.
Are they gonna follow us? What scares bears away?
Normally, I would think fire and things.
You said the
bigger than
bears
that.
are on fire, though.
One of those doesn't. Right. So
None of
I
us
think
are
one
bigger
of those
than them.
doesn't work, and none of us are bigger. No, so I'm suggesting we leave.
Fuck. Squash is gonna like peek out and try to spot what the hell Laffian is talking about.
It's beyond your 30 feet dark vision range, I'm afraid.
Boo.
Oh, don't you have dim vision from a certain distance? Like 30 feet beyond that, right?
Depends
how
on
dark
how
vision
you
works?
made the thing work.
Sure. And we can keep things like continuous with everyone else's awful dark vision. I'm not going to have you roll a perception check. You're going to be able to see these kind of fiery eyes and occasionally more at ground level, the kind of fiery claws.
Mm.
But they don't... Yeah. I'm actually not going to say anything else. I'm going to let you all deal with this.
Is there
Okay.
any chance Squash knows what the fuck this is?
Survival or nature check? In fact, any of y'all can do that. Like,
28 survival.
Dirty 20 on nature.
19 survival.
And I got another 3. How did I get 2 3s in a row?
I don't know.
On brand. On brand.
We know the curse has transferred. This is the problem.
No, I just
You
had
also
a
had
nat
a
one
nat
last
20.
session.
Yeah, Arch, you
True.
somehow gave me the curse. We have to finish
How?
out this
You know what? That's
season,
fine.
and
You can
then
keep
the
it.
curse is going to transfer to someone else, is what's going to happen. Because you had it all season 1, and now it's on me, because I had pretty good rolls season 1.
Give it to Aethor. He can't
I
fuck
don't know
up.
how to transfer it to
That's
Aethor,
true,
but I want
actually.
to.
You keep your crummy curses to yourself. Thank you very much.
Nah, I'm going to figure... Arch,
No,
we're going to figure
no,
out
no.
how you transferred it to me, and then we're going to figure out a way for me to
Mhm.
transfer it to Aethor.
Mhm.
Sound good?
I agree with this because I hate this ridiculous monster rogue that you've made. So yeah. Let's please figure this
I
out.
will just go for
Well, but
werewolf rules and assume I have to kill you guys. Like that's.
Well, no, but here's the thing. You're a halfling. You already cannot get ones unless the gods fucking hate you. On top of that, you have expertise in everything. So, like, the chances of the curse impacting you that badly is non-existent. You also have reliable talent. Between reliable talent, halfling luck,
And being Aethel.
and just expertise in everything.
Yeah.
The curse would at most make your 29 like 25.
You're forgetting the fact that I'm not listening to you all. Reverse. It's either werewolf rules or I'm not playing.
Okay. On a 3, you kind of just see them in the distance. You don't know what they are, but you're very able to see that this is probably some sort of polar bear, and it's definitely got fire on it. On a 19, on survival, you're probably aware that things like fire might not do much to it. Cold also might not do that much to it. It may be resistant to those kind of damages. On a 20 of nature, this is not a naturally occurring beast. You are right that there is something of a demon in this. On a 28 survival, you are damn sure that cold is going to do dick all to it. You are damn sure that fire is going to do absolutely nothing to it. However, on a 28 on a survival, the way that they don't seem to be getting any closer. And if you've picked up the information from Laffian and maybe mutterings that you may have heard in your dreams from Rhal, they don't seem to be getting any closer. They seem to have stopped, and they're just watching. Something in their behavior does not scream that you're about to get eaten yet.
Okay. All right. Well, they're clearly got some kind of infernal elements to them.
Right, I kind of suspected.
They like my mind tells me they're probably like some kind of an apex predator around here. They seem to be completely like embedded in fire and in ice. I don't know. But they don't seem to want to get too close to us. They're cautious, they're careful.
That just means the sizing is
Yeah, which either means that we need to strike out first or we need to get the fuck out of their territory.
If I have a few minutes, or I can just make it happen now, but I could make that thing again happen, where the invisible thing, I could have it carry something out there, like a cloth. We could trick them. That could get their attention and give us a chance to run, maybe. Or it could just go out there and see if they attack it.
I'm just a bit concerned that we might accidentally antagonize them instead.
I think the invisible cloth thing is not a bad idea. It might give us more of an idea of what they're planning or what they want to do.
I was going to use it to try to get away, but if you want to send it out and see if they attack it, that's an option.
We can absolutely also use the chance to just leg it, just keep going. I mean, it's not too early in the morning. Like, we definitely should be using whatever good weather we have to move. I think we should do that. I think we should use it to distract them and then just leg it.
I agree.
What if they follow us?
Well, then they're going to regret following us.
Yeah, listen, if they follow us, me and Cal will make them sorry.
But there's 6 bears.
No, there's 12. The joke's not getting any funnier.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so am I reading the situation right? Rhal, you want to use your unseen servant,
See if the 6 bears
put a
attack.
piece of cloth on it, and just send it out to the bears.
Yeah.
Are you going to make it go, ooh?
Because-
you going to cut little holes in the fucking sheets?
They'll think it's a person. You know.
They'll think it's a toddler wearing their mother's sheets.
Excuse me. Squash.
Okay,
Squash, ignore him.
and you're going to use this as a distraction for Yol to just leave.
Or
Yes,
test
it is as
waters.
stupid as it sounds. Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to check that I had this plan down. All right.
No, V. No, V. It's
Okay.
plan.
Air quotes. Rhal, you summon your unseen servant. You give it a piece of cloth, and it runs out towards where the bears are. The 4 of you grab your things. Are you running? Are you walking? Are you trying to be sneaky?
I think
How are you?
I think we're just making our way.
Just trying to be cool, playing it cool, boys.
Yeah. I used the word apex predator earlier. Well, we're apexing their predators.
I don't know what that means.
Rhal's flying overhead, gonna watch over and see what happens.
Okay, that's great. As the 4 of you gather up your things an hour ahead of getting a long rest, you make your way slowly, casually away as Rhal's unseen servant just makes their way towards the bears. The bears look at this piece of cloth that is just floating nearby.
When you say it like that.
You see one of them like pad over to it and just kind of like lift its nose and smell. It doesn't smell like anything in particular. They put their paw forward straight through your unseen servant, through the cloth, just tearing it into pieces. They twist their head. You hear them slowly call out to their friends, and they all turn and look at this cloth. Then they turn and look back at where you were, but the 4 of you are gone.
Bamboozled.
And you see them just look around at one another and just slowly begin to spread out. Like, again, they're maybe searching. Some of them are coming in your direction, but they're not moving particularly fast. They're just slowly making their way through the snow in your direction. Some of them completely wrong direction. The sun begins to peek over the hill. Hill? What the hell was that? The snow slowly begins to peek over the hill. And as the rays of light begin to cut through the storm that is beginning to blow more and more intensely, as the beam of light hits the first of these bears, you see them recoil and they make their way towards the shade. The other bears, hearing this call from their friend, also begin to make their way towards the shade and the darkness as the four of you make your way north. You have not completed a long rest, but you do have a short one. Your additional hit points from the hero's feast are gone.
Oh, damn it.
Boo.
You didn't engage with the bears. Boo.
No, don't want.
So we were able to spend hit die. Okay. I'll have to do that here in a second.
So we only did a short rest?
Correct.
Does Rhal know... Rhal wouldn't know bears from around Fossum unless he traveled north, and he would have done that primarily like on the roads and shit. With Bogrim,
like you would be aware of the threat of bears. What information do you think you wouldn't know? And I'll let you know if you should know it.
I want to know if I know enough about the bears in the cold weather here, even though these are magical and clearly like, are they... I guess I want to try to read their intent, I guess, but how do you insight a bear? I want to know if they're hunting, like what, because they didn't attack.
Oh,
they're
then,
not.
yeah, I'll need you to make I'll need you to make a
They're
survival
not
check.
hungry, are they? It's a 10. Yeah, I don't have a very good survival.
You don't understand what they're doing whatsoever.
Okay.
Like they seem to be patiently waiting or maybe studying you, but also the sun just didn't seem to do any good things for them. So
Yeah. Rhal says,
that's basically what you really get.
well, I don't know how dangerous all of the things here are going to be, but those bears don't like the sun. So we might swap our travel schedule tonight. Depending. We don't know what else is here.
I think that might be a little dangerous, though. Visibility at night is going to be a bit, well, very reduced.
Visibility during the day is also rapidly deteriorating.
Oof.
At night it's worse, though.
Mm-hmm.
Does Zaltanna still have a shield?
The other thing is temperature.
Does Rhal have a shield? I don't
Does
think so.
Zaltanna still have a shield?
I should.
Okay.
I never use it, but I definitely have one on my character sheet.
Okay, Rhal will say, Zaltanna, you can give me your shield, and we could tie a rope to it, and we could let Tio and Squash sleep and pull them. It'll be fine. At least one of us will be arrested for the day.
Zaltanna will take the shield off of her back and... Oh man, it's so funny because I still have my shield still it has the symbol of Tyr on it. That's so awkward.
Awkward.
Like Zaltanna takes it off and like looks at the symbol and like kind of like rubs her neck and like awkward.
Boy.
I mean, Rhal, if that's something that you want to try doing, I mean, the shield is good for the smaller ones here, but I do have a foldable stretcher in my pack.
Yeah, but this with the shield, there's snow, right? So it'll just slide along the snow. It'll be a lot.
Right, but I'm saying like you and I could carry Rhal so that he could rest, or like
That would take too much energy out of the two of you. I'll be okay.
Look, Balance. I think you've forgotten that I'm fucking short.
We will leave that far if anyone gets hurt.
But The shortness for you is actually a convenience because then you can just take the 2 front handles and just put them on your shoulders and you're already good.
I feel like what's going to happen
You don't have
is
to do anything
that
else
I'd
then.
put
You just
them on
put
my
them there.
shoulders and you'd be holding them. And even if you were holding them pretty low, Rhal would be like sloped forward. So I don't think that this would
You're
be
not that short. Your shoulders are up to like my chest.
I'm like 4 foot something. It's on my character sheet, but I'm not going to look at it because fuck that.
You're exactly 1 dwarf high, 1 dwarf wide.
Yeah.
Listen, Zaltanna, I really think you're selling yourself.
All right.
I'm 4'6".
So Squash and Tio are gonna get sleep? Is this what I'm picking up?
Yeah, it's going to be nothing for Rhal or Zaltanna even to pull a little sled.
Yeah, at least for an hour.
At least until the weather gets too busy for the sled.
Or until we go downhill and then you just see...
Or the cave makes it to where it's not a sled anymore and it's just a bunch of rocks scraping on metal.
I guess the other question is, Squash, are you okay with this?
I mean, like, if we do something like this, I can do a full what's next night, so that's not a bad idea.
Might as well.
But, yeah, I don't know how well I can sleep being dragged behind somebody. That's... I'm not a pick.
Would you rather ride in the stretcher?
I don't think so. I don't know. My brain tells me that we just need to keep moving. The cave was, 4 days walk? But we've slowed down, so maybe closer to 5. We've done harder walks. We've done more difficult walks. Maybe not with demon bears following us, but...
We climbed a mountain to save your ass.
Exactly. You crossed the desert to save my ass again.
I'm noticing a pattern.
Rhal plops the shield on the ground and has the rope kind of like tied around it. Well, it's... And then since we're not being attacked right now and we're not all too tired right now, so if you want to take a rest here, otherwise we just carry the shield. It's not the problem.
I'll happily try this out. We'll see if this does anything smart. If I can get a snooze in, that might help us tonight.
Just bundle yourself up a lot.
Squash wraps the dirty white cloak around him.
You also have, to be fair, literally everything else in the bag of holding. You have whatever... You literally stole everything that was not nailed down in her home, or in her base. So you have things like her blankets.
And all her
you
notes
have
you can burn
all the
for
clothing of hers.
warmth.
Do not burn her notes. That's not a good idea. But you have things like blankets and extra clothing. You have a lot of it.
Yeah, Squash is just gonna bottle himself up, make a little rat nest on the shield, and just let you drag.
I don't know how much Rhal is imagining Tio helping you by being there, but he's probably not. He's probably not warm at all. There's nothing to gain.
No, I
He's
think
just
Tio bundles in underneath one of the layers and just also has the blankets around them in such a way that just their little eyes and their nose are poking out. They're just keeping an eye on things. They don't get rest per se, but you don't exactly know Tio's sleeping schedule. But they seem to be grateful for the warmth.
Tio's watching the safety of the sled so that Rhal can pull the sled and not have to worry about whether the bear is just getting a snack off of the sled.
Yeah.
As I pull it.
I feel like Tio is just turning into Mushu from Mulan.
It's so good.
Okay. So, Squash, I will allow you to finish out your long rest for this evening.
All right.
However, you will not get any more rest this way.
Okay.
Because the storm picks up in earnest. That wind that was so strong that has been building really hits you. It hits you in such a way that it feels like the wind is cutting through all the layers of clothing that you have, even the specially adapted, specially made stuff that you have for the cold. It seems to bite through that. It's so strong, it is so hefty that you could stand still and be blown backwards. It is a real effort to keep walking forward. Your speed is reduced. It is cold. the snow is building and your visibility decreases rapidly. The sun doesn't stay up for very long either. It just could be the storm is blocking it, or the days are in fact getting shorter. Let you decide, perhaps it's both. As you reach towards the end of the evening, you see the kind of landmarks that your Dragonborn companions mention, and you notice them and you make your way around those just sheet ice that would collapse underneath you. That's good, because that would be some very terrible rolls for y'all. As you make your way around this and you go a little bit further north, you come across a large collection of trees. They don't have any leaves on them, but the branches are wide. They are heavy. And you see that underneath that the snow is not deep at all. Just odd bits that are being blown into this collection of wood that you could make shelter in if you wish. It doesn't stop a lot of the wind, but you aren't being snowed on anymore. You could, and there are areas that are slightly clearer that you could actually lay down and take some rest. The trees do look startlingly familiar, however.
More of those falling trees.
I'm not saying they're falling trees, but I am suggesting that they look very similar.
Alright. Squash is, I'm assuming at this point he's gotten off the shield and is like marching along with the team. Or
yeah, dragging you would definitely slow Rhal down to a very significant extent.
How big is this forest?
It's not massively big. You can see the edges of it. Forest is probably an extreme version of what I want. This is just a good cluster of trees.
Can I see the other side?
No, not quite.
Okay.
The sun is beginning to set properly now.
I'm not sure how to proceed here. Because those are probably going to try to kill us.
And we're going to need a fire tonight.
Squash, do you want to maybe try scouting ahead, see if you can find a clearing somewhere in here? We can set up camp. The trees will act as kind of a natural deterrent for predators.
And a natural place for a fire. To be on that.
Before we go too close to the trees, I'll scout that area out. Those trees do remind me of the falling trees, so I am more naturally nimble than most of you, so... and he looks at...
Tell them to throw their branches into a pile so we can use it for a fire. That'll be convenient.
I don't think we're on the same team as the trees.
Have we tried asking?
Okay.
Squash, just try to find a clearing somewhere within the tree line so that we can have that protection.
Yes.
The cold is clearly getting to Rhal. Okay, so in that case, I will need you to make a stealth check for me, please.
All right. With a disadvantage, or?
Yes, please. I do apologize. Pretty much all of your checks from now on are going to be at disadvantage.
All right.
Boo.
That's 26.
Of course it fucking is. I mean...
What did you expect? I am the rogue.
I send my curse to you. I send it.
No, you keep that bloody curse over there.
Well, you'd be the person least affected by it, so you should have it.
I don't want it.
You slowly, very carefully make your way through the forest. You hear branches cracking above you. Just looking up, you see that they just cracked a little bit from the weight of the snow and the ice, of the pressure of the wind upon them. The deeper into the forest that you get, the kind of bigger these trees become, the more dead, if anything. They're very barren. There's no life here at all. There are no tracks that you would expect in a forest. Small creatures, animals, birds, droppings, small undergrowth. There's nothing. Just bare earth and a lot of branches above you. You find a clearing. There's a lot of snow in here, but the wind doesn't seem to be as much. The build-up of trees seems to have diffused, kind of softened the wind as you know it. It's a bit of a walk in, but you could set up a camp here. with fire. You wouldn't necessarily be able to see much coming if it decided to come for you. It's a little exposed in that regard. But you probably could get a rest here.
I think Squash is assuming that the trees may work as a deterrent for the rest of the animals. So this seems like a really good idea. I think Squash is gonna make his way back, try to retread his steps a bit deep so the rest of the crew can easily see them and make them out. And think about other people's sizes when it comes to tracing his steps. Okay, can I make this easier on the rest of them?
Okay. You kind of do the thing where you make your path back as easy as possible for the others to navigate. For the three of you standing outside, could one of you please make a perception check for me, please? Just a straight perception, because I'm going to assume that everybody else is helping and aiding, so you can just make a straight perception.
Oh, okay. You sure you took the curse, Casey?
Very definitely.
It's a 12 perception. I got a 5 on the dice. Yeah.
The wind is so strong, you can't hear anything. You hear and feel the trees behind you swaying in the breeze. They're way more affected on the outside than what Squash has found further in. You hear lots of cracking. You hear the wind beginning to howl as it whistles through this forest behind you. You don't see and you don't hear if anything is approaching. So much so that none of you notice that Squash has rejoined you. You got a 31, you're never going to see him. 26, you're never going to see him.
I could have seen him if I got a 19.
I want to say that Rhal told you all that the bears seemed more curious about the thing and didn't really attack it, even though it did shred up the cloth. I don't know, it didn't strike me as being aggressive.
I'd rather not deal with them at all.
Well, they're the ones following us.
Well, assuming they're following us, I don't think they would have.
If it were up to me, the one would have just said hi, and then you wouldn't have brought 5 others to follow us.
I don't know, maybe they would have ate you and gotten indigestion or something.
No, it would be bad for them.
Acid reflux,
Nice.
Anyway, I think I found a good place.
Oh, hi! Welcome back.
I found a place in the clearing. It's in the forest. It has a little clearing. It's. I think it's a really good spot. I think.
All right, lead the way.
All right, follow me.
Sooner we're out of this cold.
And try to be quiet and graceful, I guess. I think these are more of the falling trees.
I would like each of you to please make a stealth check. A straight stealth check, because I'm giving you advantage because of Squash, having laid the path down. So, straight stealth checks, please.
25.
Nice.
I have disadvantage.
7.
You don't have disadvantage, you roll straight.
I have disadvantage when rolling, always. I mean.
First roll is a 16.
Nice.
Yeah.
And a 33.
All right. Squash, I was basically just going to ignore you.
What?
So,
according to the trees, you don't exist.
Well, that's not strictly true. So Squash got a 33. Zaltanna got a 16. Balance got a 7. And Rhal got a 25. Tio's riding on Rhal, so Tio doesn't need to make a roll.
Oh, wait a minute. I have luck points.
As you are... Yes,
I
you do.
sometimes forget I took that feat. I'm going to use one. Slightly better, a 10.
It's something.
As all of you begin to make your way through the forest, you're following in Squash's footsteps very, very carefully. And then you hear a crack as a branch above Laffian's head falls down upon him. I need you to make a dex save, please.
Nat 20, 22.
You can roll with real dice.
Oh, yeah, I could, but I'll take that one. That's fine.
Picking and choosing, huh? Yeah, that's fine. All right.
I forgot that I can use real dice.
Yeah, for saves. Real dice for saves. As you hear the crack above you, you jump forward almost instantly. You just have that feeling that something is going to hit you in the back of the head if you don't move right now. And those senses save you as you feel the branch smack onto the back of your knee and you take 5 bludgeoning damage. That was halved, by the way.
Okay. He tries to stifle any grunt of pain or any additional sounds.
Uh-huh.
You see Rhal mouth the word firewood and smile like...
Revenge!
He reaches down and grabs the branch.
Yep. That's a totally wise move. Yeah.
And holds it out towards Rhal.
The 4 of you...
And mouths, you want it, take it.
Rhal grabs it.
The 4 of you make your way to the clearing. There are no other major instances. The few cracks above you here are just from the wind. You manage to make yourselves a camp. Again, I will ask, are you making a fire for food?
Yeah.
Are you setting watches? How are you handling the evening?
There's a
Fire and watches.
Yep.
You see Rhal go to the edge of the woods and put the shield down and make a loud noise and catch all the firewood that's thrown onto the shield and drag it back.
Okay, yeah, I will accept that.
You cheeky
I will accept that.
motherfucker.
I'll take deck saves.
That
if
is
you
cheeky
want.
enough. I'll allow it.
Rhal is used to trees trying to kill him. Remember what is it? The fucking...
Even at disadvantage, my
Yeah.
deck saves are very good. So
Yeah, no, that's fine. You are totally. I'm going to say you're totally able to do that. You game the trees.
What is the name of that buried city now? I can't remember.
Draneth.
City of
Draneth.
Draneth.
You grab all this
The
wood,
Savras trees.
Yeah.
and you are able to light them. Or are you? As you pick up your tinder pouches and you try and set fire to these branches from the falling trees, as you have named them, they do not catch. You probably waste something ridiculous like 30 minutes, an hour trying to light these, and they will not light with your mundane tools.
Having a bit of a problem there, Rhal.
Squash, do you have soul fire?
What?
What?
No.
Need better fire. Fire times 4.
Let me. No, Jesus, calm down. Savras,
fire.
calm down.
That's Rhal, that's a little extreme. I think that there's probably a better way to light tinder than soul fire.
Well, I've been trying and it's not working. And Rhal like
Let me-
throws this little tenders down.
Okay, no. But let me just... I've
Okay,
got
go.
this. Just pile everything up
There.
into one...
You
All
do
right,
it.
so we pile up all the wood, and Laffian just puts one hand out towards the pile, and he's going to use combustion.
Okay. Please link combustion.
He spends a single side point, and it does say that I can target an object, and it lights on fire.
Now, there's a level of me that wants to be a complete dick, but I don't know if I should be. Because what you have just done is not magical fire, is it?
It's brain
Because
fire.
you're not magic. It's brain fire.
I don't know, V.
These will only set fire specifically from
Fire times 4.
from magic fire. Yeah, sure. It says on fire. Whatever.
This is soul wood.
No.
Use it to
no,
create the
it's-
best blues guitars in the world.
Oh my god. Negative inspiration.
If I could, I would. But I feel like bringing up the fact that this is non-magical fire to light, I think is big enough. You managed to set this wood on fire. It combusts and it stays alight for a very long time, much longer than you would have thought. But that by that point, you're already deep into your meditation. Rhal and Zaltanna, you're already sleeping. So if what I picked up from the earlier conversation, Squash is going to be pulling an all-nighter.
Well, most of it, yeah. He's the only one who got a full night's rest the night before. And if I understand correctly, Laffian only needs 4 hours of real sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So
In that case, I'm going to put most of the onus of doing the checks for the evening onto Squash. Whether the watch is broken up into pieces, we'll find if you actually get a long rest or not. But I'm going to put this onto Squash then.
Yeah.
Squash.
All
I
right.
need you to make a perception check at disadvantage.
Whoa. With a what?
It is dark. The wind is very loud.
Excuse me,
You
V?
cannot see beyond your 30 feet.
What?
You're not going to be happy with this because it's a 23.
Okay. Sucks to be you then.
What?
Oof.
You needed a 25.
No. You hear the sounds of branches falling all around you. Clunk, clunk, clunk. From all different directions. You don't feel it, but you become aware that there are things moving very heavily around you. And then you see a flash of red eyes. You see claws tapping at about ground level that are covered in fire and then sink into the snow to disappear once again. There are a lot of them around you. By the way, Squash, you can interrupt at any time. I'm just going to keep going until you tell me not to. You see one of them lift their nose in the air and sniff. And they look towards the wood. They begin to very slowly eke their way forward, stop, pull back. And a second one joins it as they inch ever closer. And they pull back. A third joins them. Now they are all coming from 3 different directions as they inch their way closer and closer until you can see them properly. They don't seem to be paying much attention to the 4 of you huddled together for warmth around the fire. They get ever closer.
I think Squash
They're
is
about
gonna
15 feet out.
raise himself to his less than impressive stature. And I think he's gonna lock eyes with whichever one of them looks the biggest.
This is a ballsy move.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. It's as it kind of makes its way towards you and you begin to move, all 3 of them as one, their heads whip around to look at you. And the biggest one stares at you, frozen momentarily.
Squash gets out a single dagger from a hidden pocket somewhere.
It tips its head looking at you. You can't see the other 2. You know they're behind you and off to the side of you. You don't know what they're doing right now. It very slowly puts a claw forward and puts it into the snow or whatever it is that you've cleared in front of you. It lifts its second paw and its body pulls itself forward. You see the fire reflecting off of the whiteness of the snow as it puts it down in front of you again. Now it's about 7 feet out.
Squash puts the hand that doesn't hold the dagger in front of himself, creating like a little bit of I don't even know what to call it. Like he's basically like
a physical barrier.
Yeah, it's that sounds dumb, but that's what he's doing.
A redundant
he's
Okay.
physical barrier.
And he has the knife in the other hand, and it's just that knife's flying as soon as this thing does anything wrong.
A behavioral barrier.
All right, then I'm just going to keep describing and you throw when you want to throw, my friend. It reaches forward and it puts its claw right down in front of your toes. It steps forward once more and its paw reaches out towards your face. And then it strikes. All right, I'm going to attack you now.
Yep.
I'm gonna get you.
I just need you to understand that it's doing the very slow walk and it's looking at you intently when it just lifts its hand and just strikes down.
Swats at me.
Yes, that's the word.
All right, go ahead and make an attack.
22 versus your armor class.
Hits.
It does 13 slashing damage and 6 fire damage.
19 damage.
As it pulls its claw back, it just leans back on its haunches and looks at you.
Am I bleeding, or was that literally just punch? Was that just the physical form of it?
It kind of claws into the side of your face. You have 3 very deep scratches and a 4th slightly lighter scratch. They don't bleed, mostly because the fire has almost instantly cauterized it. It opens its jaws wide. Takes half a step forward and closes its mouth around you.
Yeah.
This is the biggest game. This is the biggest game of chicken, Squash. What are you doing? It picks you up in its mouth, but it's not closing down on you.
Oh, God.
And it turns.
Bye.
And slowly begins to
God.
stalk away in the other direction.
No, stop it. Okay, I think Squash is struggling, and if it starts biting down, he's gonna bring the knife that he has in his hand up into its throat, which he has definitely at this point, when it bit around him, the knife went to the throat. All right,
I need you to take an attack roll, please.
All right.
What are you doing, Squash?
I was hoping to what's the word I'm looking for?
Psych it out.
Yeah, basically. Disadvantage or normal?
Well, I'm gonna say normal. This is clear that the bear is about to put its jaws around you, but it's too late for you to do anything.
Yeah. Oh boy, that's an 18 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
All right. Do I get sneak attack since I've got clear shot for its throat as it's moving kind of slowly?
In what world do you have advantage?
I don't have advantage. I'm saying that since it was moving slowly and basically just opening up its throat for an attack. That's the argument, but...
You are not going to sneak attack this.
I'm not saying sneak attack.
It has its mouth around you. It knows exactly where you are.
It's 8 piercing damage with my dagger.
Okay. Just 8. Yeah. All right. Can you please take an intimidation roll?
Thank you. Oh, I'm bad at those. Fuck. It's just a flat 10.
Anytime you want to wake us up.
I know.
As you stab your blade into its throat, it closes down ever so slightly, whips its head to one side, and Squash goes flying through the air into the snow. The 3 of you awake as you hear this bear cry out in anger.
Oh, good.
As Squash just stabbed it in the throat. Okay. All right. I guess on...
Are we rolling initiative or is it leaving?
Well, it may or may not have been intimidated. You may or may not have witnessed the other 2 bears turning and padding away slowly and quietly. But the bear that is dripping blood from the neck seems to be a little pissed off.
Uh-huh.
So, yes, I will need initiative rolls.
Okay.
God damn it, Squash.
Oh, god damn it. That's not a good use of a 20.
No, it's not.
Hi everyone, it's V here. We finally got a chance to sit down and record another session, so we decided to pull the giveaway winners while we were at it. The first one, the winner, the person who wins literally all the mirrors signed by all the cast, is Carl Hamlin from Twitter. So thank you so much. We will send you information as soon as we basically finish this recording session and let you know that you won the set. We also decided to pull some runners-up. So Arch pulled for someone to receive signed art of Laffian, Squash, Aethel. Aethel pulled for someone who would win Squash's art, Casey rolled for someone who would win Zaltanna art, and Neil rolled for someone who would win Rhal art. Yeah, I said the words right. I'm really tired, guys. I'm super warm. I'm also very uncomfortable right now. So, the winner of Laffian's art is Karen Heimdall. The winner of Rhal's art is Amini from our Discords. The winner of Squash's Mirror art is Vince Messina from Facebook. And the winner of Zaltanna art is Emily from Twitter. So congratulations to the 5 winners, the 4 winner of them all, and the runner-up winners. So thank you all so much for participating. And to literally everyone who put something in for this. It was so nice reading all your reviews and your comments and seeing some of your fan creations. They blew us away and we felt really happy. So thank you so much for that. 153 episodes is it's a long time to stick with someone. So thank you so much for that. There's just a couple of little bit more housekeeping things I want to do. First of all, I want to say thank you to some of our newer patrons, to Hiru Dagon and Rai Rai. I hope I pronounced either of those correctly. Thank you guys so much for being supporters. We really do appreciate that. And if you want to help the show out any further, anyone, then you can just leave us a review on any of your podcaster apps, iTunes, anything like that. It just helps to get us seen, and also we like reading them. You're about to hear an ad for Intelligence Check. Go check them out. Also, thank you. Bye.
Greetings, Podquesters. I am Colt Hawkins, famous bard of the podcast Intelligence Check. Intelligence Check is set in a Tolkien-esque world where our party members are forced by fate down the road of adventure. Literally, fate is physically forcing us. We keep trying to walk away, but the damn thing never lets up. Now I know what you'll say. Another D&D podcast? But trust me, I'm worth listening to. I mean, we're worth listening to. And doesn't this accent make you just want to trust me? Intelligence Check celebrates the camaraderie of lifelong friends, joking around a table while remaining true to their characters and story. We bring you short, bi-weekly adventures full of action, banter, too many tentacles, and a naked dwarf. Oh, dear God, someone please put some clothes on that dwarf. So roll an Intelligence Check, because the show you're listening to now is awesome, but you'll need something to hold you over while you wait for new episodes. Oh, come on, is that really the tagline we're using?